This is what we call
Hater shit.
There is no better term.
Good girl. That's a baby.
I think I'm scared for her to have a cat.
Good girl. That's a baby.
Why are you interested in helping high school and college students? Oh gosh, that was optional too. That's scary. I want to be a part of finding and creating solutions that work for all interested parties rather than a catalyst used in destructive agendas. Wow, yeah, that totally just, you're out. Oh, wait, no, go back. It says, do you acknowledge this is an unpaid volunteer position during the 4-week pilot? She probably just X'd out when she read that. "5:07 a.m. I told you all that I need sleep every single night. I need rest and a stable home. I want to be with my children and family, and I hope everyone reading this gets exactly the karma they deserve. Third night in a row left without food, shelter, or a way. When the F do I get my day in court?" February 16, 2023. Coco Chanel, YSL, is Heather Gillespie, is Cinza Noon, Baby Everything. Oh my gosh. Oh, for a second, I thought she did not hashtag Mrs. Smith, but she definitely did. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. That mate. Oh, I smile every time.
Again, we're outside. I hope everyone dies.
The fuck? Once again, we're outside. I hope everyone dies.
I was promised again that this would not happen. Again, we're outside. I hope everyone dies. I was promised again that this would not happen. It's illegal to put anyone outside during cold months. It should be illegal to put them outside at all. My link card was stolen again. We've gone to the state, we've gone to the police, we've gone to the court system. They don't take the card, they know the ID and they know the password and they just use it and leave me with no food, no money, no nothing. So now we've spent a night in -1 degree, we've spent a night in 10 degrees, we've spent a night in 30 degrees. I'm over it. I've been over it since before it started. I'm sick of this bullshit. I want to be with my children. I hope you all fucking die.
I was really feeling that song. Did y'all see all her nails? She's about to do her nails.
I've been posting about these people again, leaving me outdoors in the cold for now 2 days in a row, as well as Airbnb. Turning my account off, locking my account for no reason, with no explanation, after I followed up with them for a full week, multiple times a day, with regards to a security issue that was noted. In response to that report being filed and asking for copies of my travel itineraries for receipts, I was thrown outside in a fucking tent for the 5th time in the last 2 weeks and withheld meals. I haven't eaten. So, and I'm also not being permitted to post to the internet.
It's oh, she can't post on the internet. We're back to this again, as she's posted on the internet. I love how she says withholding meals. Like, who gives you food? What are you talking about? You're a grown ass woman. You get your own damn meals. Who do you expect to come waddle up with you some food?
But I'm not a hostage, right?
No.
I've been posting about these people again, leaving me outdoors in the cold for now 2 days in a row.
And this is a repeat.
As well as Okay, so now we're...
Oh, I remember this one too. Fucking
Coco.
Coco.
Heather Coco Senza. Cancel rape culture. Okay, so now we're at Northwestern Hospital. Trying to see if Xavier has fucking frostbite on his feet.
What? That was probably loud. I apologize. Oh my gosh. Checking to see if Xavier has frostbite on his feet. Are you kidding me? Y'all need to stop buying drugs and get some damn shoes on his feet. Oh, Lord.
Do you want to say hi?
Are people still wearing masks?
Say hi.
What did he say?
It isn't frostbite. It's just tissue death from walking. Do you want to say hi to Instagram?
It was not gangrene. It was rigor mortis.
It was not rigor mortis. Fuck, I wasn't recording. Anyways, what I'm saying to you all is that none of you have had the pleasure of seeing me look my hottest yet. And that however hot or unhot I look, no filter, no sleep, spent the last 2 nights out.
You know what? You can't even complain much because it's 3 o'clock in the morning and y'all are inside of a building. I mean, a lot of people do that, unfortunately. They either try to get locked up in jail or they go to hospital so they have somewhere to stay for a few hours. So, at least you got that.
Outside in a fucking park field in 20 degrees out. Regardless, none of you have ever had the pleasure or decency, what's the word I'm looking for, babe? Honor of seeing me look my hottest yet. It'll happen though. Babe, do you want to say hi again?
It's not rigor mortis. It's the beginning stages of testicle gangrene.
It's not gangrene. Don't say that. Why does your chest look so puffy?
Why do people always say
He probably stealing sheets and shit.
like that was
And if you still don't believe me that I was meant for beautiful things, I'll give you another reason why. I'm 5'9" on my flat feet, and I don't fit any pants. Exhibit A.
Hey guys.
If I were supposed to fit in the same size pants as average everyone else, God would have never made me this size. I was made to stand out. Don't you understand? They don't seem to understand yet. Thank you. What's going on, guys? Good morning. Xavier, do you want to say hi? Hold on, I have to flip the camera. All right. It's a fucking beautiful morning in Chicago. It's all of 40 degrees with a wind chill of about 25. I just wanted to check in with you guys and say hi. Xavier and I have been dealing with a bunch of issues lately, the past 6-7 days that we haven't dealt with in quite some time, 5 or 6 months. So for anyone who doesn't have a background, I started GoPro Solo in 2015. It was supposed to be a collaborative effort with my ex. We were working on the project together, and we wanted the original.
Am I the only one? It looks like her glasses are not straight.
Intention for the project was for it to be a production company that dealt with all influencers, professionals who wanted to branch out in other directions, just pretty much anyone. And the whole premise was GoPro Solo. Like, you don't need a deal, you don't need a blessing, you don't need permission. Find the thing that you want, the thing that you love, the thing that you are most passionate about, and let's make it happen for you, you know? So that's GoPro Solo. Are you a fitness professional? Let's get you started. Are you a yoga professional? Let's do it. Do you care about, comedy? Do you want to be a stand-up comedian? We can work with that too. Are you an actress? Are you a model? Are you a social media influencer? What makes you happy? And, what are you missing right now, or what is currently preventing you right now from hitting those marks and continuing to move forward and develop those dreams and goals and making those dreams realities rather than, dreams. So that's GoPro Solo. And again, I started this company in 2015. Most of you know about me that I began my career in entertainment after 10 or 20 years working in the medical profession. I began my career in entertainment after 10 or 20 years working in the medical profession. I went to school. I have a bachelor's degree in medical office administration with a focus on medical law and ethics. I am a medical assistant, phlebotomist, fitness professional. I've completed personal training courses with NCCPT, NASM, as well as ISSA. I'm passionate about fitness. I'm passionate about fashion. I'm passionate about my family. I'm a mother of 3 beautiful children. I have a 16-year-old daughter named Viviana, a 14-year-old son named Lewis, and a 9-year-old daughter named Alexis. I've been, passionate about all of these things for as long as I can remember, and I've never really changed my path. The only thing I was not passionate about was the sexy portion of what I was doing. We did have production for people who were webcamming, who were working on like ManyVids, Cam Soda, etc. I had to remove it. I unfortunately endured a really nasty situation where I was abused sexually, among other ways, financially, physically, mentally, and revisiting the sexy portion, I just can't do it anymore. So I've written up a manual for how to succeed as a webcam person or a sexy influencer. If you guys want that, I'm going to also be posting it to the website Merciful Storm. and making it available for free, for whoever wants it. I know what works, I know what doesn't. It's just not something I can coach anymore. It just brings up a lot of really difficult feelings that I just don't have any desire to ever feel again. But if you're, doing anything else, developing anything else, anything rated PG-13 or, PG, this is going to be, something that would appeal to you.
Oh, I see one.
And it's a matter of resources. Many people don't have what they need to get started. It's a matter of coaching. Many people don't know what they need to get started. And it's a matter of a team and a collaboration and a collaborative effort amongst like-minded individuals who are all working to develop whatever their goal is, whatever their passion is, whatever they want to go pro at. And again, besides entertainment, this can be anything. I call this a production company because what are we doing here? Xavier, tell the people what we do. What do we make? Exactly. So we make content, and content is a production, and content is something that you need in the modern world, right? If you want to own a landscaping company, you need help. You've never even, ran a lawnmower before. I can't come over and teach you how to mow the lawn. But what I can do for you is teach you how to brand your business, how to hashtag all of your posts, what social medias you should be signing up for to advertise your service, where you should put your money when it comes to paying for paid ads, where you should hold back and just utilize the free organic growth that you'll receive. I can write copyright for your business. Copyright is when you need a website built or developed and you need someone to literally write out what it is you offer, what you provide, what your pricing structure looks like, etc., and so forth. So it doesn't matter what niche you're in or what you're into. GoPro Solo is for everyone. Now, Xavier and I are working on our own side project of a webisode called The Coco Show, which is going to be coming out very soon. I've been super excited about it for a long time. I'm involved in a lot of big projects. Some of you may have heard me say I'm birthing an elephant. Google that. What does it mean to birth an elephant? And in really short terms, it means that this project is massive. So I put a date on the first novel to be released by February of this year. It's not going to happen. I'm unfortunately at 319 pages out of probably 1,000 that I need to get to. So the last time I checked in, when I put a date on it of February, I think I was in the apartment at Montclair. I was at the Montclair studio, and I told you guys for sure it's going to be out by February. I know I haven't updated you on this. Literally 3 days after I made that announcement, I got my door batter rammed in by 5 or 6 police officers. Maybe it was 3 or 4 at 9 a.m. I'm still asleep. I have it on camera as well. And they literally gave me 1 hour to pack my stuff and leave with no explanation. So that's what I did. And I haven't had much time to work on the novel since then. But it is coming along, So again, GoPro Solo right now is in the middle of working on The Coco Show. That's our main focus at this moment. If you guys are interested in further developing whatever it is you're working on, and I did a huge launch where I took, I want to say 20 or 30 brands and probably hundreds or thousands more in an impersonal way, and I offered all of my content for free and all of the paths of this is what you do, this is what you do, this is what you do in 2020 as well as 2021. So 2022 I was working on the novel mostly, and now we're back to offering this growth and this assistance. So if you have a business, if you have a business idea, if you want to drop ship, if you want to do e-commerce, if you're a personality, if you're a comedian, if you're a dancer, if you're a singer, if you are a fitness enthusiast, if you like music, if you play the guitar, whatever it is, and then let's go to more of the trades. If you are a landscaper, if you're a gardener, if you're a fucking painter, who was with me 2 or 3 days ago? I think I went live, or maybe it was just a post when we went to the art exhibit at the Water Tower. Super dope pieces. Weren't those pieces really cool? Really dope. And that's like a traditional gallery setting. We can collaborate with galleries already in existence. If you're an artist and you want more exposure, if you don't have your social medias developed, if you want to go under a ghost page, whatever it is you guys are looking for in any way, that you're looking to expand your business, your brand, let us know. Hit us up in the DM. Like I said before, we're also looking for collaborators to get this webisode out. The premise for the webisode is everything from my real life, all of who I have to be, the businesswoman, the shark, the bitch in some sets of circumstances, the person with their feet firmly planted on the ground, making sure everyone knows what exactly the situation is. All of that is abandoned. And in the show, I'm just having fun. I'm reverting to my childlike self. Xavier is like my number one fan. And we're just walking around town making beautiful experiences for ourselves. So the show is the complete opposite of what we're actually living through. And it's kind of like being in war and then being able to press a button on an elevator and you're just lifted back to your regular peaceful life. That's what the show is for us. So the Coco Show, the webisodes, we're really, really excited and super hopeful to bring this out and roll this out soon. But GoPro Solo in itself is here, to serve. And we are looking for, anyone who needs assistance. I have my education formally again is in medical and business management, medical law and ethics. But I also have like 60 random credits just for business, 3 or 6 month course completed for Shaw marketing, several private schools that were just like, 9 to 12 month educations for business startups and things of that nature. And on top of that, I've consumed years worth of content from other marketing and business professionals, investment professionals, cryptocurrency professionals like Grant Cardone, Gary Vee, just to name a few. A couple of the Instagram profiles that really, have caused a lot of inspiration for a lot of people. The Millionaires Club, just a lot of different resources, have fueled this fire. And so if you guys need assistance or, you have any questions, the DM is open. And that's it. Life is what it is. I've been working since I was 14 years old. I had my first job at a movie theater, then at a pizza place. I worked at prestigious hospitals. I've worked in the nightlife. I've worked promoting parties, hosting celebrities, and just everything in between. Creative design, production, staging, modeling, acting. I've appeared, in a couple of shows. I've done fashion shows. I've created my own fashion shows. I've created my own 3 to 6 minute videos with plots. For different platforms, ManyVids, my Vixie, Cam Soda, they've all been removed. It's just, like I said, after you are raped and abused enough times, you just lose the desire to continue in that field. So I did lose that desire. I did walk away from that. I haven't done anything like that since 2018. But I do definitely know how to do it and how to make it work. And most of the time that we were doing this, it was a staff of myself and 1 or 2 other people, and we still get it done. So anyways, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous day. The drama here in Chicago is super real. Nothing has really changed. If anything, it's gotten worse as far as the streets go. Pardon me. They are attacking people in the way of finding people who are already down and out on their luck, not people who do fraud, not people who, know how to play, not people who sell drugs or, they're not looking for people who commit crimes to hurt. They're looking for innocent people walking around the street that barely have anything, and then they're stealing from them. It's not acceptable. I have already, been in contact with every law enforcement division here local to Chicago. Every time I've called 911, my call has been obstructed, and we have it on video. So the situation is just not good. The people here who are pretending it's good, they have something to lose by saying it's not. So pay attention. I love you guys. I hope you're having a great day. If you guys are children watching this, listening to this, I want you all to remember the same thing I always say to you. If you look at someone mistreating a woman, if you look at someone mistreating a man, and you think to yourself, damn, I would hate for my father to be treated that way, or I would hate for my mother to be treated that way, don't do anything to treat someone else that way. don't pick up on those lessons. You know, don't allow that shit to continue taking place. If you guys are kids, young adults watching this right now, understand that the future is yours. The generation before mine fucked this shit up, and the generation before theirs, and my generation. You know, we all have a certain amount of responsibility and accountability to take, you know, for the way things are now. But again, if you guys are young professionals growing up and you're developing a brand, a business, a service, a product, stay focused on that shit. Stay positive and be good vibes. If you see someone hurting, ask yourself why. If you see someone yelling and screaming and cursing, ask yourself why. Don't say, wow, that person is crazy. Wow, that person's a bitch. Ask yourself why. Figure out why, because I promise you, 10 out of 10 times, if you invest just a little bit of time into finding out why, you're going to be equally as appalled as that person walking down the street cursing. I promise. I love you guys. Have a great day.
There's nothing like what I have planned for my show. I don't know whose show this is. Shake my head.
What kind of makeup am I using? Thank you for asking. Every kind. Literally every kind. I don't like colorful eyeshadow, mostly only when I'm doing photo shoots. Usually I just like it brown and gold and like orange, like sandy tones. But this is cute.
Okay. Back to the fitting rooms. Oh no.
Almost there.
I like wearing all black because the dark is more forgiving than the light. XOXO Coco. Look at her eyes.
I love this.
I hate that.
I love this.
February 20th, 2023 at 3:22 p.m. Another undetermined amount of missing money, approximately $40 to $50. I think they are running a clone software on my end, and I'm only seeing what they create. My app for banking is probably also a clone app, and they can easily omit transactions, taking out several small amounts over a period when the target will be making more purchases, easy to forecast if you know how, taking many small amounts and disguising them with non-specific verbiage like vendor or retail sale, etc., allow for the money to be stolen without raising red flags that would otherwise cause alarm and freezing of the card or account. Many people who realize and have forensic analysis of their accounts end up finding out these small transactions have actually been coming out for numbers of months or years and add up to large sums. She's so high.
Happening regularly since 2019. I still, to this day, am not in my own home with my children as I've been my entire life, from the birth of my three children through present day. And I still have not been provided a court date, nor responded to by law enforcement regarding any of the rapes, thefts, abuses, taken against me. So there's extensive documentation, medical records, etc., and so forth to prove each and everything that I've said is the truth. My car was destroyed, my home was destroyed, and I've just been kind of throwing myself into, surviving. So if you've been along here watching for, longer than just since 2019, you guys know that I have 3 beautiful children who I love more than life itself. Viviana, 16, my daughter, Louis, my son, 14, and my youngest child, Alexis, 9 years old. From birth through November 24th, 2019, all 3 of my children lived with me primarily. I was the primary parent, custodial parent, in a joint custody situation. And that was decided by a court date. I won primary joint custody. Since November 24th, 2019, shortly after Dylan's release and the abuse began, a man attempted to break into our apartment at 2037 West Roscoe, and the police were called, and they asked the kids' fathers to come get them, and they have not allowed me to have the opportunity to reside with them again since then. Every time I get an apartment, they break in to show that it's not safe. I've gotten a house. They did the same thing. Xavier and I had a room that we were renting. They did the exact same thing, kicked us out for no reason, curated a big, huge issue. So it's been incredibly frustrating, heartbreaking, honestly. But in the meantime, I made a list of things that I wanted to work on or that I wanted to discuss, because if my life is, not where I want it to be, and I want other people to get involved and assist me in reaching these goals and receiving the justice that is, deserved in this situation, then I just feel like I need to continue to develop in all areas and understand things that affect the same people that I'm asking for help. So if I'm asking you to help me understand and fix what's going on with me, but I don't have any investment of time or energy into the things that cause others issues, that's not an even balance. So I don't know who's been watching since we were at Montclair when I was doing book club, and I was doing it on the books, the 4 agreements. I'm going to do another one on the untethered soul. I have so much, question about the things in that novel. I understand what Michael Singer is trying to say or saying, but I feel like there may also be hidden meaning. So I'm super excited to get a discussion group together for that. If you guys have not read the book, The Untethered Soul, please do so. Michael Singer is the author, and then, let's have a conversation about it. And I'll do another live. I'm not sure when it'll be. It's hard for me to schedule these things. I'll try to give you guys a heads up. But most of the time, if I make an announcement here that I'm going to go live, they don't allow me to. They block it. So I try to just do it spur of the moment. That's typically been the only way it's, allows me to log in, or go live, rather. But one of the goals for perspectives that I've been challenging from the norm of what we were taught, and in honor of Black History Month, it's the month is February in America. I don't know about the rest of the world. Forgive me for my ignorance, but in America we celebrate National Black History Month in the month of February. So we're in February now. I have this tattoo on my wrist. It says "Still I Rise." Maya Angelou is a civil rights activist, a Black civil rights activist, who wrote a poem called "Still I Rise." I posted it a couple weeks ago, or maybe last week. Check it out if you guys have time. Also, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, Maya Angelou. But I was writing something down. I was incredibly confused because I'm always thinking like, okay, it's Black History Month, but I'm dealing with the most. My life is in complete chaos. I miss my children. I'm crying a lot. I'm trying to understand what the fuck is going on. My jobs are being sabotaged. I'm being, abused physically, sexually, all this stuff. But I can't seem to find a way out. And education, learning, understanding various perspectives has only worked to assist me in finding the way up. So every time I put my own issues to the side and distract myself with knowledge, they say knowledge is power. So Black history is just one of many lists of things that I have been working on in these past 4 years. And I wrote this little narrative that I want to discuss with you guys, and I feel like it would be a pivotal move and very intelligent for our country, our youth, and the generations to follow. I think that out of all the Black history that exists, the most important part to understand is this, and I'll explain why I think this as well. I never knew this, and I know grown men with careers making six figures who don't know this. I promise you, it's not that they maybe couldn't figure it out logically. They have just never given their mind the time. They've never invested the energy or time into finding out. Okay, and I swear to God, you could think I'm joking. I'm not. This is not a joke. So I'm going to talk about it and then I'll defend it. When we're talking about the family system, and how it affects, how it is affected, or how it has affected, or how it's been affected in specific areas of America that are affected by poverty, violence, etc., and so forth. And we all know, if you don't know, I'm about to tell you, a lot of African American people are subjected to those conditions because they started after the rest of us, generationally speaking. Right? If someone's being held as a slave, how much of their time and energy can be spent investing in themselves? How much of their time and energy can be spent saving money? How much of their time and energy can be spent developing skill sets, learning hobbies, loving their family, going to church? Not much, right? So while the rest of us are developing and evolving, anyone being held as a slave, and since it's Black History Month, I'm referring, mostly, and the largest population, affected by this is African American people, Black America, but there were also immigrants and poor white people, so it's larger issue than race, but race, more Black Americans were affected than white Americans. More Black Americans were affected than immigrants. And they were held as slaves. So we know it happens to a lot of us. Immigrants can be affected, poor white people can be affected, but we know that it affected largely Black Americans historically, right? So you're released, the Emancipation Proclamation is signed, and all slaves are free, supposedly. They're set free, right? What do you do when you're coming from an oppressive situation where you were never allowed to learn or make your own money, and you're set free now? How do you earn an income? How do you teach your children? Where do you live? What do you do? So these are all problems that America didn't have solutions for. And the Black America, anyone, and listen to me, when I say poor white people, immigrants, you're Black America for the sake of this reference. You are just as enslaved, or we're just as enslaved as anyone else. Period. It's the truth. So when you free yourself from that oppression, and now you're free, how do you go about catching up to even be able to compete with, or work next to, or be a part of the same world as the people who have been evolving for hundreds of years while you were still a slave? How do you catch up, right? Hold on, you guys, I have to get my charger. So this is what I want to happen. This is, I think, an easy solution for helping people understand, because again, I saw this disturbing ass video. I just lost a piece of medication. I saw this disturbing ass video of this group of boys beating the out of a little white girl, 8 or 9 years old, because supposedly she said a racial slur. I mean, it was terrible to watch. They were beating this little girl up. I mean, bad. Like 4 or 5 boys beating her. So, do you think it's possible that she did say the racial slur? I do. I don't know her. I don't know her family, but I know if you grow up in a household where the adults in that household, the role models in that household, don't understand racism, don't understand Black history, they could very easily say a racial slur that a young child would use, maybe even on accident, without even knowing, the effects that it would have. Again, that would be on the parents. So what do we do for children who are living in households with ignorant parents who absolutely refuse to change their perspective or educate themselves. We incorporate Black education, Black history, and Black lessons into the curriculum. The first one and the most important one is systemic racism and how it contributed to the situation with where we are today. It's pertinent. It is something that needs to be taught, needs to be expressed. What I would say if I was teaching a class is something like this. Maybe they're high school kids, right? We're talking to. And again, I don't have a lesson plan written. I'm speaking this off the top of my head. So this is how it started. The legal system favors people with money, right? Is anyone arguing that? We all know that to be true. If you can afford a good lawyer, you're off, right? You could get away with murder, literal murder, right? How much money does a slave or someone newly released from slavery have to invest in a legal defense? Nothing, right? So all of these slaves are released with no money, with nowhere to go, right? With no solutions. And then they're imprisoned for finding a way to survive. We have to teach this to our children, okay? So the family unit, for most people, consists of a mom and a dad, regardless of sex. You know, those are the roles, and then the children, okay? What happened during this time was that while the rest of us were living in these family systems of stability with two-parent households, newly released slaves either didn't have any family at all or created families and then fell prey to the criminal justice system. So if you think of a family of four, right? And it's a Black mom, a Black dad, and some Black children. And then Black mom is working full-time. Black dad is working full-time. Black dad is targeted because he doesn't have enough money for a legal defense, and he's thrown in prison. What happens to Black mom? What happens to her? What happens to Black mom? Black mom has to now be a single income household, supporting all the children on her own. And that's not just support financially, that's support emotionally, mentally, financially, physically. That mom has to do the job of a two-parent household on her own. Do you understand what that does to a household? Look at your own household now. Imagine one of the earners in the household is incarcerated. You are expected and pressured to spend a significant amount of money you probably do not have on this person's legal defense. And then ultimately they're taken away. And now you are left with all of the pieces of that fucking broken mess to pick up while still being a good parent to your children. Needless to say, many women can't handle it, or men. Many are okay and they make it through, but many can't, right? So what happens when you can't offer the support your child needs? What happens when you can't offer the financial support your child needs? What happens when you can't offer the physical support your child needs? You're at work, mom's at work working two jobs now because dad's gone. So now you've got three children raising themselves. If they're hungry, they go eat. There is no parental support, let alone love, or maybe there is as much as can be, but not as much as the rest of us have opportunity to provide. You're born into wealth, right? You have money, your family has money. I don't. I'm saying you do. If there's a problem legally, it's not going to affect you, who can just go into the bank and pay a lawyer, the same way it's going to affect me, who has no money at all. Do you not get that? And when you make that a matter of race, and you take all of these Black families and make them fatherless Black families, what are you doing to the race? How is that helping them catch up from the deficit slavery created? It's not. It's not. So no, we can't turn back the hands of time and erase slavery. We cannot. But we can prevent it from the future, and we can teach our children that maybe the person who you see in class who maybe is wearing dirty clothes or maybe smells a little bad or who knows what, maybe that person shouldn't be called racial slurs. Maybe that person shouldn't be picked on and made fun of. Maybe there's a much larger reason that person doesn't have or doesn't understand. And maybe by educating them, we can prevent school shootings. We can prevent bullying. We can prevent all of these violent situations that create further deficit and a further life of lack. By preventing a life of lack, we're offering a life of abundance. I'm going to say that again. By preventing a life of lack, we're offering a life of abundance. We have enough. We all have enough. You know? So back to the lesson plan. If we teach these children what actually happened systemically, that people were incarcerated when they didn't deserve to be, that people were wrongly convicted just because they couldn't afford a legal defense, and that it mostly and mainly impacted poor Americans, Black Americans, that it separated families, that it caused people who otherwise naturally have good values and morals and ethics and standards for life to live outside of their normal reference for living only to survive. We can't incarcerate people for not dying. Why would we want to? So if we know that this took place historically, and it affects more things, you know, than just poverty. It affects a lot of things. Family units, you know, queer, lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, all of these things. What?
The new slavery is rich, poor.
Right, social division. Social divisions, exactly. When you take a family that operates with a mother and father and children and remove one of the parental units, the family is coming from a place of lack. They have to make up for the support that the father provided. You know, so now, again, you've got all this weight on mom's shoulders. The kids are looking at mom. They love mom, you know, and dad. But they're feeling resentful and angry towards dad. They don't understand this is not dad's fault. They don't understand dad was just a fucking, you know, scapegoat. They don't understand that. And they start despising their father. Wrongfully. Their father probably loves them very much, but that's not what they're being taught. Not taught by the words coming out of the mouth, taught by what they're seeing happening in the world. Do you understand? At the end of the day, anytime there is such a phenomenal impact on our society as a whole, as the one that has taken place, mass incarcerations against Black men and women, but, you know, mostly men, huge demographics of people living below the poverty line, huge demographics of people living in tent cities. There's a problem. And problems, as I always say, are opportunities for solutions. So when we teach our children that Black people and poor people didn't get to where they were because of the stereotypical scapegoat excuse, they're lazy. They're lazy. They don't want it bad enough. Okay, bitch, who fucking woke up this morning to $5 million in the bank because daddy left it to you? That's nice that you have that opinion. Fuck. I'm tired of those labels. Lazy, this, and then it's always a motherfucker who never had to work for shit. Or some middle class people just have that mindset. I've met a couple like that. But typically it's not that way, you know, and you and I both know that. It's typically not that way. If we can get this curriculum in grammar school, if we can identify the deficits that were created, whether intentional or not, by the problems with the criminal justice system specifically and the mass incarceration issue, if we can teach that, if we can work that into our curriculum, we can prevent that from taking place in the future. Until we find a way to be open and honest with our youth, with the generations that come after mine, after yours, after his, after hers, the problems will repeat themselves. Anyways, happy Black History Month. For anyone who didn't know that February is Black History Month, take a fucking second. Read one article. You know, you don't have to become Martin Luther King. Just educate yourselves. You know, have a meaningful conversation. There's a lot to talk about on that subject. I didn't write this out. Like I said, this was a spur of the moment. Boom, go live. Have some conversation. Keep the page going. But there's a lot more, to talk about with reference to homosexuality and, abuse in the prison system and lack of love, lack of sex, lack of money, lack of food. All of these things, they blend together. All of these things, they're causal to each other. So again, when you have a man in prison for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, is it right to expect that man to never feel loved again? To never feel supported or wanted? We're degrading and dehumanizing our population. And then we're sitting around feeling appalled when they lash out. Love wins every time. Every time. All right. I love you guys. I hope everyone has a great day. Like I said, there's a lot more we can discuss with the subject. My DM is open if you want to talk about it. Right here, go to the GoPro Solo Entertainment. If you want to collab, if you want to discuss about things like this, it'll be this account right here, the Coco Chanel. Contribute something. Let's continue to move forward with life and our goals individually and, collectively. Let's make use of this time that we're here. Let's have fun. Let's live in abundance. Let's prosper. One of us winning doesn't mean anyone needs to lose. We can all win.